All right, so our last example says that the table shows a function. It says, what is the average rate of change over the interval -2, which is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 1. Okay, in order for us to find the average rate of change, so let's highlight the key things: average rate of change and the interval that they want us to find. In order for us to do that, we're going to start with our t-chart. Now we're going to pick out the values for the interval from the chart. Now they gave us the x values of those intervals, so we're going to go in our chart in just a second and pick out the y value that goes with it. We're going to fill in our t-chart, and then we'll do what we've been doing. We're going to find the changes between the y, changes between the x, and then divide. Okay, so let's set up our t-chart. So the t-chart has x and y. The first number in our interval, which is a -2, is the same as saying x is equal to -2. So if we go to our table, we notice that there's your -2, and the y value or the function that goes with it is 85. So the first one will be -2 and 85. And then the same thing, this one here, it says less than 1. That's the same thing as saying x is equal to 1. So we look in our table for a +1, which is here, and then the x value, the y value that goes with it is a 10. So that means our order pair will be 110. Okay, now that we have our t-chart filled in, we can find our change. We can do our changes in our x and our changes in the y's. But we got to remember that the changes is subtraction. So that's going to be 85 minus 10, which is 75. And then we're going to do -2 minus 1, which is -3. Okay, now we're going to take and do our division. So we're going to set it up as being our change in our y value over our change in our x value. So our change in y was 75 divided by our change in x, which is -3. So if we go to Desmos and type that in, that's going to be 75 divided by -3. That's going to give us an answer of -25. So the average rate of change is -25 for that example.